Hello, beautiful people of the world. Thank you so much for the support that you have been giving us as Utando Nestembo. Since 2017, we receive an overwhelming support from our people, from South Africa, from the people of Africa, from the people of the world. And we have been, humbled by that. But I want to say something. Throughout these years, I've experienced the increase of women and children abuse. I've experienced femicide. I have experienced more things, more bad things happening to our people. And that has been a worrying factor, a concern for me as well as for my family. And we said, no, let us do something, because we realized that we cannot sit down and not do anything. Hence, we have done an extensive research around the ways and means of how we can best assist our nation, our people, in order to have a far better objective conversation when it comes to these issues. Hence, I am proud to announce to you that, again, the Mselegus haven't disappointed anyone, because today we have another beautiful book called Life and Polygamy. Look at this book. Look at this book. This book has got all the answers for you. Remember, as I have said, since the show started, we have been asked a number of questions. A number of questions of why we are having this kind of a lifestyle. And I've tried to answer a number of those questions. I'm a little bit disappointed, though, that we still have men who are not mentored. We still have men who don't understand why they have to have more than one wife. Some youngsters, they also don't understand why they have to have more than one girlfriend. Is it necessary to have more than one girlfriend? If you are not well mentored, yes, you might think it is necessary. It's not necessary at all. There are so many things. One, we are not matured enough to handle all that, to handle love, to handle stress. Obviously, the relationship, is being enticed by you having money. So it means if you have less money, you cannot have multiple, relationships. And that is the other factor that sometimes is often overlooked or not considered by those who wants to pursue this. But I'm not there in that kind of a relationship. I want to zoom in to people who want to build families. If you want to build families, this book, I love the topic that says, don't judge the book by its cover. It is true indeed. Because this book, as much as it's saying life and polygamy, but it's not about promoting polygamy per se. This book is about family. It's more family orientated. We are protecting families here. We're talking about family values. We're talking about what sort of a man that would qualify to lead this kind of a lifestyle. I think that is important for you women. It's important for you women to know, because I always say, when I advise, when I speak, when I go to seminars, when I do counseling, to say, women, my view is an honest view, and I think it works. If your man comes to you and say, I want to take a second wife, yes, it will come as a shock. Sometimes you would want to fight, but fighting is not always a good approach to the situation that you'll be confronted with at some point. I always advise that the best way of dealing with this particular situation is where you sit down with your man, based on facts, based on the current situation that you guys, everyone knows, your weaknesses, your strong points. Things that your man is still struggling with having one family. So it's better to engage your person based on facts. To say, Baba, why we are struggling with one or two? People, they always look to only one side, money. I know man plays a huge role in maintaining any family. Even if it's a monogamous family, you still need money. And then how much more if you want to add from that family? But I'm saying there are issues of time. If your husband is failing to provide enough time for you as a family, how is then expected that he would be able to have enough time for the second family. If your husband cannot attend things that are required by your children at school, can't be there during a sport day, can't be there for homeworks, can't be there for a number of things. You engage your person based on facts. You don't engage your person only based on emotional capacity. Because when it becomes an emotional matter, people, they can drain you. People can destroy you. And it will push to an extent where you are being disrespected. And I don't want men to view you, women, as people who are stumbling block from them and aspiring to lead this kind of a lifestyle. So this book, I believe, it will become a cornerstone. It will become a center stage of having a mature, objective conversation around these issues. Because when we don't push yourself, rise to a situation where we are able to have these conversations as a family, these are the conversations that should be open. These are not conversations that needs to be swept under the carpet, because they will resurface somewhere down the line. So I'm simply saying we have done an extensive research. The book might have been written by me because I'm an author, but these four beautiful women, they've made a contribution in terms of experiences from the household, the experiences in terms of the other things that have been said by other people. The other thing that we have tried beautifully to answer in this particular book are the questions that we have been receiving throughout from 2017 until to date, where people have been asking us, how did we manage to pass this challenge, and so forth and so forth. So I'm simply saying, we as collective, as this beautiful family, the Mselego family, we have managed to answer some of your questions. You might have asked a question in one seminar where one of the wives was there. You might have asked a question on Facebook. You might have asked a question on Instagram. You might have asked a question when you met her. You might have asked certain questions, from me. But I'm saying, what we have then decided as the family, we said, no, let us sit down and write a book. And you can see, this, I love this picture. I love this picture. So I'm saying, not because they are my wives, but I think this is a beautiful picture. This is a very awesome picture. This is what you're going to see when you go to CNA bookstores. You'll look there and then you'll see this book. I'm sure you'll get yourself a copy because you want to empower. I know some men have said to me, Mselego, I'm going to buy that book because I want just to put it on the bed of my wife, and then the wife will then get the signal. But guess what? Read the book as a wife. Because this book here, at no stage where it will give permission or ideas to a husband to take a second wife. In fact, this book, I know for sure, because it has been well researched. It's a well-balanced book. This book will empower you as a wife first to be able to advance your argument in a manner that will make your husband realize that he's not ready to be a polygamist. This is the beauty about this book. It will further give you more power in terms of understanding who is eligible, who qualifies to be a polygamist. Not only that, it will also make you realize that the husband that you have has got a long way to go, because this book puts a beautiful narrative why or who was supposed to be leading this kind of a lifestyle. It's not everyone. That is a given fact. It's factual information, it's factual experience, it's based on our African history, which is well respected. Our forefathers knew who will qualify to lead this kind of a lifestyle. It's a pity that we don't have those structures anymore. We need to revive those structures, because when we do that, we will sort of empower our people. The sad reality that this book also addresses. I've been consulted by some government departments where they are trying to address the issues of customary marriages. The issues of customary marriages are so important because some other men, they use polygamy to punish or subject their wives into a very painful journey. But guess what? Because we are contributing now, we are not just sitting at the periphery of the discussion. We are at the center. We are leading from the front. We are saying you cannot subject women. You cannot make women as if they are objects. But all what you need to do is to make sure that they are protected. They are protected because even if you divide your inheritance, it should reflect how your family is being structured. It should not be an imbalance, perpetuation of the past imbalances. It should reflect a balanced view of how your family is structured. Because some men, because they are engulfed by love, they will neglect even how the household is being structured, which is a sad reality. And this book can be used by those people who are crafting the laws of this country, our laws, of countries, because the book will form basis, and it's not coming from a person who has done the research only. This is our life experience. So we are very much interested to protect the culture, the tradition, the customs, the norms and values of our society. So we are passionate about what we are saying. At no stage where we would say this wife must be ill-treated at the expense of this other wife. All what we are saying is that women in particular would love to encourage you that you get yourself a copy of this book for a simple reason. Once you have a copy of this book, you will be more empowered. You will feel renewed. Your strength, you will gain your strength. This, I always say, this is not a motivation. It's a true life experience. And I don't want to carelessly or loosely use the term that all of us, we are somehow involved in one way or another into a polygamist lifestyle, because some are not like them. But the reality, the practical experience tells me that somehow we are finding ourselves in this particular, kind of a lifestyle. And that on its own, it gives a challenge to our society. But more and above, I want to say you can get yourself a copy of this book from Amazon, from Smashwords. You can get this beautiful copy from CNA. Can you imagine when you walk to CNA and you find this? Okay, let us do this. Oh, let us do this. I'm excited about this. Now, Uthando Nesithembu is flying on your screen. You're sitting there with your family, having dinner, supper, popcorn. I will encourage men who are going to be watching Uthando Nesithembu with their wives that you must buy something, some goodies, so that the mood, becomes good. So while you are enjoying your cool drinks, your sweets, or whatever, you also read so that when you have answers, when you have questions about why himself is doing this, you go to a particular chapter and say, the good and the bad of polygamy. Oh, yes. And then when the wife quarrel or differ, you go to the views of women about polygamy. Or when the wife or the children, they complain that maybe I'm not being good in the way I do things. You go to a particular chapter here which talks about that. So I'm simply saying this is a well-balanced research book that is going to assist you to be a better person. That's all what we strive for. Remember when we started Life and Polygamy, when we started Uthando Nesithembu, 2017, what I said? I said I want society to have a point of reference. I want society to make up their minds where they will say, I want men who will be bold enough and say, polygamy is not for me. I want men who are going to be influenced in that manner. I want women who are going to engage their husband and say, Baba, I think I'm falling in love with polygamy. So, Baba, why don't you start looking for my sister? Or what about women who are going to lead it? Because I always say polygamy will work best when it's being led by women. And people, they don't understand, what do I say? It will take away the painful understanding. It will take the frustration away. Have we ever, or have we reached a stage where women themselves, they can boldly say, Baba, I think there is a need that we can take a second wife, or I pray and wish for that day. Can that day come? Can you people from South Africa, from Zambia, from Namibia, from Botswana, from Zimbabwe, from Congo, from Senegal, from all the continent of Africa, can that day come? Can people from Canada, Europe, USA, from Australia, from Britain, can we reach that day where women are going to be leading polygamy? Let me tell you, if we can achieve that around the 21st century, there will be no pain. There will be more gain. There will be no street children. There will be no children without fathers. One day I was watching a show on television where one man had 11 girlfriends and 74 kids. Girlfriends, 74 kids. But I'm not there. I'm simply saying, get this copy. Get this beautiful copy for yourself. Now is available. CNA stores, Amazon, Smashwords. I love you. Thank you so much for your support.